Okay, let's get started. Okay.
Okay to get started?
Yeah, I'll get started. Welcome
And
everyone.
sound is okay?
Or
Everybody can hear me okay?
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Okay,
no, all good.
perfect.
Just keep cutting me up, Talal. Cutting me off. Anyways, welcome everyone. Thanks for making it today. We're gonna talk about the new Schletter products for commercial flush mount. Of course, these can be used in residential as well as commercial. We did a webinar on this about 2 weeks ago or so about the
Actually, one month to the day, right?
was
I
a month
believe.
ago, a month ago to the
Yeah.
day. We did a presentation on the residential portion. This is the commercial portion. Of course, they're kind of interchangeable. Talal is going to talk about that. He is the sales manager for rooftop at
Yes,
Schletter,
correct.
and it's amazing. And Schletter, we're really
Thanks.
excited about all the products and really excited about the new ProLine coming out, which is what you're going to talk about. So before we get started with that, I just want a quick reminder, there is a chat function at the bottom right of the screen. You can ask questions in there. You can also wait until there's a break between slides and just unmute yourself and ask questions that way. It's not like we have hundreds of people here, so should be able to do it that way as well. And yeah, I know people always ask about the slides or watching the webinar again afterwards for other people that couldn't make it. All our webinars are at our YouTube channel. Just you go on YouTube and search for Frankensolar. You'll find our channel there, and you can rewatch any of our webinars that we've done after the fact. Also, a quick reminder, Haseen reminded me last time that I forgot to mention that we have a warehouse show coming up, actually together with Schletter. They're our title sponsor for that. And that's coming up in the end of April, I believe. Haseen, what were the dates again?
April 26th and 27th, so that's a Wednesday
April.
and Thursday.
Perfect. Yeah, so we'll have a number of the companies that we work with here talking about the products and specific topics about the industry and kind of what's going on. I think Schletter will probably talk about their new commercial flat roof product as well at the time. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be in Ontario for the first one, and we're planning to duplicate that and take it on the road. I'll probably do one later this year in Western Canada somewhere, and then kind of try to do one every half year somewhere. So when we go to East Coast after that, we'll kind of see and play by ear. But this is the first one we've done in a while, so we'll do it at our home base and go from there. Of all that being said, Talal, take the floor, do your presentation.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Danny. We're looking forward to the warehouse show as well. I do want to start just by saying thank you to Frankensolar again, Haseen and Danny especially, for hosting this event and letting us come and speak to everybody about our products. We do really appreciate it. So let's get right into this. So hello, everyone, and welcome again to the second edition of our ProLine flush mount introduction. We did do a webinar on residential components 1 month ago, and today we plan to focus our time on the solutions that Schletter has to offer when it comes to commercial installations and projects.
Specifically for flush mount. Right. There's also products that are for flat roof commercial or ground mount commercial, and of course we'll do webinars on those as well in the future.
Perfect. So for those of you joining us again, thank you very much for tuning in again. And for the new people here, thank you as well for taking time out of your busy schedules. As Danny mentioned, my name is Talal Hamadani, and I've been with Schletter for just about 2 years now. My current role is sales manager for rooftop, serving Canada, Mexico, and the United States. But I did grow up and currently do live in Windsor, Ontario.
My condolences about that. Windsor, Ontario.
In today's presentation, we do plan to take you through a quick company background, talk about our 25-year warranty, compare the old Solo rail to the Pro50 rail from our new ProLine series, as well as the splices that no longer require any hardware for installation. Then we're going to talk about some ProLine attachments, including the Hangar Bolts and the SML feet for all kinds of metal roofs, SingleFix Pro for trapezoidal roofs, and Rapfix Pro for standing seam metal roofs, as well as some new wire management options that will be available with these systems. So I'll move through this part a little faster because I did mention this in the first webinar, but I do want to quickly just take a look at the Schletter Group, which is made up of about 600 employees worldwide and backed by a large investment group. Our main headquarters is in Germany, and although the company was founded in 1968, we didn't begin to supply solar racking until around 2001. And in that 22 years since then, we have supplied racking for over 40 gigawatts of installation worldwide, including over 15,000 projects in Canada alone. So this map shows the locations of all of our teams, which are in 20 countries currently on 6 continents in North and South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, and Australia. Again, I did go through this specific slide in the last presentation, but I did just want to mention that all of our rooftop components are made of high quality aluminum and stainless steel to make them durable and lightweight. All of our products are UL approved and CSA tested and certified. We have a long list of panels that can be used with our systems, and we're constantly testing new panels to be added to our list of UL approved modules. In addition to that, we also have an on-site testing center and laboratory at our headquarters in Germany, and a large research and development team that is always searching for solutions and new ideas to improve our products and ultimately the experience for you, the user. And of course, we do offer a 25-year warranty on all of our aluminum components, which is everything in our rooftop line, as well as our PV Max aluminum ground mount system. So let's start with the rails. On the left is our current module bearing rail, the Solo, which is from our classic line. So the Solo has been a great product for years, and we could be satisfied with continuing with this rail profile. But as I mentioned, we do have a very large research and development team who is constantly looking to make improvements. And this is where the ProLine rail comes in. So with the Pro50's new design, we are able to provide more strength using less material than the Solo rail. You'll also notice that the upper channel where the clamp goes has been changed as well, which now uses an M10 claw instead of the M8 for additional clamping strength.
That's awesome. And there's also there's also Pro35 rail, just to mention, that's more used on residential. So that's why we're focusing on the Pro50 here.
With a little bit of a smaller profile, correct?
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, the Pro50 is able to provide increased load capacity over the Solo while still using less material, and it's 12% less material to be specific. So we have changed the standard length of the rail as well from a 4.4 meter to 4.8 meters to accommodate the growing module sizes we're seeing and to make it possible to have 4 panels and portrait orientation per rail span. So it is still a bottom mounted rail, just like the Solo, which provides increased structural and fixation strength over side mounted rails. Also new is the increase in the size of the mounting and clamping channels from M8 to M10 to provide more clamping strength, as I had mentioned. So just using some general building assumptions, we put together a few charts to compare the Solo to the Pro50 across different locations in Canada. You'll notice that in the absolute worst case, down in Fredericton, New Brunswick, we can still span close to 1 meter or over 3 feet. And in the best case, up in Regina, Saskatchewan, we can actually achieve spans close to 6 feet or 2 meters using the Pro50, which again uses about 12% less material than the Solo, but as you can see, outperforms the Solo in spanning capability. I'll just hold on the slide for a minute.
One of the major reasons we really like Schletter is this whole R&D part of the business. The fact that they do have people that are constantly trying to improve their products, which is a big advantage versus, working with a smaller company that's based in Canada, which just doesn't have the capabilities to invest into R&D in the same way. And if you're looking at rails from some of those companies versus, from 5-6 years ago versus now, it's basically the same products. Whereas Schletter continuously tries to improve and evolve and reduce the amount of equipment that's required to keep the same strength, or even in this case, increasing the strengths.
Yeah, and it's nice because anytime somebody on our team, whether it's from engineering or from sales or wherever, has a new idea, we're able to take it directly to engineering and have them actually try the idea out in the lab, see how it works, and then report back to us. So it's really nice to be able to communicate back and forth with them and to have a large enough team to actually put things to work when we have new ideas.
And it's actually also a really big part when we're talking about not on R&D, but just the sheer company size and bankability. I think specifically when we're talking about commercial businesses or commercial jobs, bankability becomes a bigger and bigger part the bigger the project is, right? If there's something that goes wrong with a project for whatever reason, and it's the manufacturer's fault, is that manufacturer able to stand behind its product, or is it something that will actually take the company down, right? And then you're kind of standing on your own, and you don't have a product that is supported any longer.
Absolutely. So next we'll move to our splices. So our splices have also seen a major upgrade on the new ProLine. Pictured here are the solo splice bars that we currently use for splicing solo rails. So it requires 2 internal splice bars as well as 4 screws for each individual splice location. And not to put the solo splice down, but pictured here now is our solution to the old splicing method that's so common in flush mount racking, introducing the Pro internal connector. So this new and improved splice is an absolute game changer. No tools and little effort required. It's 1 piece per splice location, and it has a self-locking mechanism for fast, easy installation when you're on the roof, and significant cost savings over the traditional splices. So note that this 1 splice will actually work for all Pro Rail profiles, including the Pro50 and the Pro35 that Danny had mentioned that we use mostly for residential projects. So also pictured here is our new plastic end cap, which is also one size fits all and works with all ProLine rail profiles.
So it's actually about 25% less cost, and it's much faster to install. So this is an absolute huge upgrade versus what you had in the past, for sure.
Yeah, just 1 piece as well. No screws to play around with when you're up on the roof. So continuing on with the splice to show you how it fits together. So on the left side is the underside of the splice, which has a pre-installed plate and a stop tab sticking out at 90 degrees in the center. So on opposite sides of the stop tab, there are 2 sharp tabs at an angle facing the stop tab. So as you insert the splice into the rail, the center tab will stop the rail from going any further forward, and the sharp angle tab will pierce the inside of the rail, making it nearly impossible to remove it for fast, easy installation. So this leaves no gap between the rails, making it possible to clamp anywhere along the span of the rail. So we did have a question in the last webinar about expansion joints, and I have confirmed that we can press the sharp tabs in on the splices and have a so-called floating splice to allow for expansion, similar to the way we did it with the solo rails and the splices before.
That's awesome.
Did you have a question, Danny? Go ahead.
No, that's awesome. It's just great to hear that.
So next up, we have our new ProLine clamps. So these new clamps are very similar to the Rapid 16s from the classic line, but we have increased the size of the claw that goes inside of the rail channel to make the clamp stronger. So they come with the integrated grounding pins on the clamping edges and are pre-assembled, similar to the Rapid 16s. So we've also eliminated the need for a vertical and a horizontal version of the end clamps, as well as the need for the 30 to 40 millimeter and 40 to 50 millimeter versions of each. So with these new RapidPro clamps, we can accommodate panel widths from 30 to 47 millimeters with one mid and one end clamp, regardless of the orientation of the panels. So they are also available in black anodized, which is becoming increasingly more popular and is pictured above.
The Solvest operations team had, sorry, the Solvest operations team had a quick question about maximum expansion length recommended.
Maximum expansion length recommended. So I believe right now what we do is every 15 panels we recommend putting in every 15 meters we recommend putting in a splice. I'll have to verify to make sure it's still the same, but I would assume it's going to be the same with the system as well.
I think it was somewhere around like 3 rails in the past, I think, right? But obviously it's a little bit different now.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the rail. Did we
three,
talk about the rail
rails
lengths already? We talked about rail lengths
yeah.
already, right? So
Yeah.
obviously we're going to a larger rail again this time around, just as many of you know, solar panels keep getting larger and larger, and specifically wider and wider in this case. So we are going up to 4.8 meters in length. So the rails keep getting larger and larger. But yeah, so we'll probably be able to.
And that would make sense what you said about the 3 rails, because if we take the 4.8 and multiply it by 3, it's about 15 meters. So that should, it should still be the same, I believe.
Exactly.
Okay. So now we'll get into the attachment solutions that we have to offer, starting with Hangar Bolts and our Clicktop Pro, which is commonly referred to as a gator clamp. So this solution works for many different roof types, including trapezoidal sheet metal and corrugated roofs. And it's also compatible with asphalt shingle roofs for residential installations, as we learned in the last webinar. It's very easy to use, and the nut that secures the Clicktop to the hanger bolt is actually the same one that locks the Pro rail into place, as you can see in the image on the right. So Clicktop, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is an older way how things have, been done in the past, and kind of, moving a little bit away from it. The good thing about this product is that it's very versatile, and a lot of times we recommend this product if it's something really odd or we're not sure. This basically works anywhere. So that's why we're still using a fair bit of that. But as we will learn, there's better solutions in many cases to install solar panels.
Yeah, exactly. So Clicktop with hanger bolts has always been a great solution and has always been a popular one as well. But recently, the more popular method has become the L-foot, which brings us to our Rapid2+Pro SML, which is Schletter's version of the L-foot. So this connection is for metal roofs and is also a very popular solution for asphalt roofs for residential projects as well. The SML is adjustable, giving it the ability to be lowered and raised to clear obstacles and roof obstructions. It does come pre-assembled. As you can see in the image on the bottom, it locks the rail into place using the same bolt that locks the elevation setting. A pre-attached EPDM pad is on the bottom, and butyl tape strips can be used for additional waterproofing where it's necessary. So similar to the hanger bolt solution, this attachment does require a direct connection to the rafters or the purlins underneath the roof covering.
This is also what we're putting on for anyone that uses the residential product, anything that uses Roof Tech, RT Mini. This is what goes on top of the RT Mini to connect the rail. Yeah. But for commercial, obviously, if we can go direct into the rafter, save ourselves a bunch of money, I think that, that makes sense.
Absolutely. And these are just some photos.
Sorry, one more question on going back to the SML. What kind of bolt is typically used? Screw or bolt is typically used to connect to the roof.
So we actually don't provide the hardware for the L-foot. So it would be up to the actual installer to determine which connection would be the best to use for the specific project, right? Because it would just depend on what's underneath the rafter or the purlin or what material it's made out of. So it will really just depend on what the project location and the project specifications are.
Okay.
And again, so these are just photos showing how the SML can be used on a trapezoidal metal roof and raised to clear the trapezoidal ridge in the panel. So as you can see, we just have the 2 L feet here and the rail across, and it's elevated to its maximum so that it can clear this center ridge in the trapezoidal panel. So our next component would be the SingleFix Pro, which is a universal solution for most trapezoidal sheet metal roofs. What's nice about this component is that it attaches to the rail with a simple turn, and it can be pre-installed on the rail even before bringing it onto the roof for fast, easy mounting. Oh, it can also be designed using single pieces per ridge or in pairs on both sides of the ridges to provide additional strength in high wind and high snow areas. Lastly, this component can also be designed using 450 millimeter sections of rail between connections, where you would only have rails underneath clamping locations rather than across the entire span of the array.
And I believe this is quite common in Germany, something that's being done there a fair bit. So it's kind of like a hybrid solution, where it's like some rail, but like it's like a hybrid between railless and a rail-based system.
Yeah, I almost want to call it a semi-railless solution.
Semi-railless, exactly. So, of course, with high aluminum prices these days, anything that can be done to reduce costs is important, right? So, for some commercial systems, this may be a really interesting solution where we're going down to about 45 centimeter pieces of rail, just where we're mounting the panels.
Yeah, and again, this design can be used with the Pro 35 as well as the Pro 50 rail.
Yeah, it's a very cost-effective solution, as you're not going to need any L feet or anything like that. All you need is those small pieces of
Exactly.
Aluminum, I guess, right?
Exactly.
The other good thing about it is where the holes are in the roof is on the ridge, so it's almost impossible for any water to get in to the building because it's completely protected, and water doesn't typically go in on a steep edge.
Right.
Usually goes where it pools on a flat area.
And here we have just a quick video showing how the SingleFix Pro works. So as I mentioned, it can be attached to the rail first, making it easy and simple to install by sliding the SingleFix Pro along the rail and into place at the end. And we do use an M6 self-tapping screw to attach the SingleFix Pro, which is actually the same screw that we use for our flat roof system to attach wind safes. So we try to keep the total amount of hardware across all of our lines to a minimum. And that would be the SingleFix Pro.
Cool.
And just some more photos of SingleFix Pro on a trapezoidal metal roof panel with and without a rail attached. And then that brings us to the last of our rooftop attachments for commercial use or use on metal roofs. This is our Rapfix connection, which is for standing seam metal roofs. So pictured above is a Pro50 rail on top of a Rapfix connection, which is sitting on a standing seam clamp, similar to a solar connection. Again, you can
solar
see
connections, S5, there's a bunch out there, right? So you just integrate with whatever is out there already. We at Frankensolar, we carry solar connections for a number of reasons. Generally, the pricing is much better, and the different units that they have are a little bit more versatile versus S5, which has a million different clamps. It's just much more difficult to stock everything. S5, it kind of is, sorry, with solar connections, you're kind of down to 5 different solutions, which we really like.
And it's great that Frankensolar has these solutions available from other companies, so they can use our L-foot, with the Roof Tech RT Mini. They can use our Rapfix with the solar connections that they already offer and put together a whole system for everybody, which is very
EOTs on the Hangar Bolt, right, as well.
Exactly. So again, here you can see, like some of our other products, the M8 bolt that locks the Rapfix to the standing seam clamp also locks the Pro Rail to the Rapfix at the same time, securing it into place. And so this requires 0 roof penetrations. And since standing seam clamps, like the solar connection, come in a wide range of roof seam options, Rapfix with solar connections have become a very popular solution for us. And lastly, we do have some wire management options that we will be able to offer with this new ProLine series. The Pro Hammerhead nut, pictured at the top, will fit into our upper and lower channels on the Pro rails, making it possible to attach micro inverters to the rail in a fast and easy way, as shown in the photos on the right. We also have a Pro Clip Multi, shown in the center, which attaches to the rail channel and allows wire to be run across the side of the rail. And finally, we have mounting clips at the bottom, which are similar to zip ties, but also attach directly into the channels of the rails, making wire management more convenient for installers. So if you are interested in having a design or quote done, please reach out to your Frankensolar rep and ask for a project checklist. I know that these are actually starting to become available through their website as well for certain systems to make the process easier and more convenient.
Right now, we just have it for flat roof systems, but we will turn this into it as well. Actually, we've got some time here. Do you want to quickly go through it? One of these for commercial systems? Do you have one?
Yeah,
have
for
one
sure.
there?
Let me just finish up here and then I'll pop it open.
Okay, let's do that.
Perfect. And I just want to mention as well that we do have a wide range of systems available, including our pitched roof flush mount, which we discussed today, fixed grid for flat roofs, facade systems, fixed tilt ground mount systems like our FS Uno and PV Max, as well as a 2P and a 1P tracking system. And if you're interested in learning more, please ask your Frankensolar rep for a copy of our component overview, or visit our website or YouTube page for more videos. And I'll just leave you now with a short video that our company has recently released, which highlights our goal to continue supporting solar. And I'm hoping the sound works on this.
I see what you did there with support solar.
Like, yeah, in more than one way.
Hey, there you go.
Let's see if this works. Can everybody hear the sound?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So a little choppy.
We support solar. You may think it's a simple claim, and we'd be the first to agree. Not because we have too little to say, rather because we have too much. We could say we support solar because of our kids, for the love of humanity. We support a clean environment and our customers' right to precision technology that lasts. We support building a sustainable economy. And we support providing pollution-free power for mobility, for our homes, and for our offices. Okay, noble goals, we all agree. But maybe we should become more tangible. We support solar with the best products and services out there. We support solar because it's a huge, highly responsible job worth doing. One we take extremely seriously and are passionate about. And not least, we support solar to help your business grow with products engineered to secure the long-term success of your solar projects. No matter if they're big or small, or in harsh or moderate weather zones, with services for every installation phase, from planning to logistics, all the way through to training, operation, and maintenance. And that is why we support solar. Because if solar doesn't deserve our support, what does? We support solar because it is what the world really, really needs right now. It's a simple claim that says so much.
We support solar.
Schletter.
Awesome.
And thank you to all of you very much for your time and attention during this presentation.
So let's quickly go through that form, because I'm sure, I know it's always a little bit of a pain in the butt to fill out forms. Like, we all do it, and there's other things we'd rather do. So, if we can alleviate some of the questions and address those right off the bat here, to show people that it's not a crazy amount of work.
Just gonna try to access it here. Do you have it open? Are you gonna share your screen, or do you want?
I don't have it open, no.
Okay. I'm on the website, but I haven't gone to one through the website. Can you tell me how?
Our website? No, it's not on our website. We're just going over the form, the actual form.
The actual checklist. Okay.
Yeah, the checklist. Because we don't have the flush mount yet. So let's do the flush mount.
I just need about 30 seconds now.
While we're waiting, does anyone have any questions?
All right, it's opening right now. Sorry, I just have a little bit of a slow computer.
Jason just asked a question. He was asking about when we're planning to roll out the new ProLine, and that should be available around June, July timeframe is when we're expecting to have these solutions available. In the meantime, we still have the Solo product here in stock, and I know Schletter has a bunch in the United States as well. So we can still fulfill a lot. And if you need I know supply is not always an easy discussion either for companies, especially these days. So Schletter has a lot of product available in the United States. So we should be able to fulfill anything that you have very quickly.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay,
can you see the check?
We can. Yeah. Can you make it a little bit bigger maybe?
Yeah, of course.
There you go.
Okay, so here we have our pitch groove checklist. So there are some mandatory things that we prefer to have if we're going to do a design. Of course, mandatory always is kind of open to arbitrary. You can make assumptions if you don't know something. If you're just looking for some pricing or a quick quote. So we do like to have the project name, the start date. You can select whether you'd like a quick quote or if you'd like a detailed one based on all of your specifications. So we do prefer to have the company name. This stuff down here is not as important, but the location of the project will actually be very important because this will determine, of course, most of the things that we need for this project. Exposed location, not a big deal. We can usually look these things up on Google. and see through maps what we're working with. Same with the terrain category. If you do have it available, sure, go ahead and check it. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it too much. Just send it to us, and we can figure it out using Google Maps. And then to the roof data. So this stuff is actually rather important. The type of roof, the length and width of the roof. If you have a CAD file, that would actually be preferred, showing the layout of the panels. But if it's not available, you can always use this section here. The roof pitch is actually very,
any sort of layout will help too, right? Like
yeah,
if it's
any CAD or PDF
Aurora or whatever.
Even if it comes down to just a hand drawing to show where the location of the panels are, that helps as well. The roof pitch is very important, and the roof covering, of course, so we can determine which attachment to use.
Yeah, the stuff that you can't see on Google Earth, right? That's really important.
Basically,
the roof
yeah.
pitch is like one of those things where it's rather difficult.
Exactly.
Again, if it's off 1 or 2%, not a huge deal, but yeah, the closer you can get, the better.
Right, exactly. And then same here with the substructure. It's important to know these things, the spacing between the rafters or the purlins. But again, if you don't know this for sure, we can make some assumptions, because usually we're dealing with, 12, 18, or 24 inches in most cases. So we can design for a maximum and a minimum and see where we end up. The module is very important, so we can make sure that it's, first of all, UL approved so that the warranty stays valid. If it's not UL approved, we can always get the panel put onto our UL approval list. So it's good to know these things early on, which module we're using. And then, of course, the length, the width, the thickness of the panel is very important, as well as the weight of the panel. And then
you can
orientation.
also attach a PDF document of the module. That's probably even preferred, right?
Yeah, that is actually preferred. If you just have the spec sheet, you can go ahead and send that over instead. And then just any additional information you have, you can put the orientation in here, but if you have a layout, that is preferred as well. So the layout, if you have a layout, this part is not necessary. And then just like I said, any additional information here, and that's about it.
Yeah. So there's a question about the clamps changing. Yes, the clamp is going to change. We will have both available for a period of time. So they're going to be kind of running in parallel, where we have the new version as well as the old version available, specifically even for things like clamps and rail. And we'll definitely have both available for a good chunk of this year. So if you're worried about certain stock levels that you have, then we can still help you go through that inventory with other products. And then, can the old version fit into the new version? No, it cannot. It was a completely different product. So the old rail, the old clamp will not work with the new rail, and vice versa.
Yeah. So although they are very similar, they'll both use still the M8 bolt in the clamp, but the actual the claw has been changed from an 8 mil claw to a 10 mil claw for additional strength.
Yeah, and the SML foot, there is right now the new version of the SML foot that we carry. We still may have some old ones as well. The new version is interchangeable between both products. So do you still have the picture of it there that you had in your presentation? Can you quickly pull it up so we can quickly go through that?
For sure. Let's go back to the L foot here. We'll go. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. So as you can see, so this is the SML foot, and the piece there is turned sideways. So this is not obviously, this is not how it gets installed. That piece gets twisted 90 degrees to either side, depending on which rail you're using with it.
So this top channel here will work with the
Yes.
Pro, and then this bottom channel here will be compatible with the Solo. And actually, if we go back to just a couple slides here, the click top is actually compatible with both as well. So this new click top Pro will work with the Solo rail. We just move this back one step, and then it'll work with the Pro rail in the meantime.
Awesome.
Just for that interchangeability while we transition into the new product.
Yeah, nobody likes stock laying around that they can't use with anything anymore.
Exactly.
Right? So
it's nice to be able to use it up with the new product as well.
Yeah, we have the same concerns, obviously. So that's why we're also happy to have both products kind of running simultaneously, and helping people go through stock that way is important.
Yeah, definitely.
Any questions before we're done here? Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. I really appreciate everyone's time. As I said at the beginning, this will be going up on YouTube within the next week or so. I think there's also going to be a quick questionnaire. If you can take 2 minutes to, you're going to get the link here. Haseem just posted it. If you can just click on that, take 2 minutes. I think it's like a handful of quick multiple choice questions. I would really appreciate the feedback on these webinars, as we're always trying to improve them. And yeah, so thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the presentation from Solvest.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Glad you guys could make it.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thanks, Danny.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.